Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 9th to the 16th of December 2013. We begin the week with Mars recently moved into Libra. So what we have here is a balance of masculine and feminine, because Mars is the male planet, the male archetype, and Libra is ruled by Venus, so that's the female archetype. So once again, just like at the autumn equinox, this is a great time to do that calibration between the masculine and feminine energies within us. Mars can bring up some passion, some drive, some frustration if the way ahead is blocked, and Libra is known to seek peace and be the diplomat. But it's a little bit more complicated than that, because quite often what Libra will do is acquiesce to the other person, to give in, to do anything to keep the peace, and then to secretly resent it behind the scenes. So with the Aries Libra or the Mars Libra combination, what we can get is passive aggressive behaviour being brought out to the surface, or at least up to awareness. So for the next few weeks, have a look out for that, where you're forcing your will or where you're giving in to others too easily, but secretly that then comes out in other blocked frustrations further down the line. It's a fairly quiet week. We go all the way through to Thursday, really, when the first event happens, which is Jupiter trine Saturn. So Jupiter is in retrograde, taking us into our inner expansiveness and goldenness and majesty. And when Jupiter is trine a planet, that is a very fortunate and flowing aspect. So Saturn is known for bringing us lessons. So have a look at what you're learning about yourself on Thursday and Friday, because that Jupiter trine Saturn is a very opening, very wise, it's like the penny drops or the sun comes through the clouds, that kind of feeling that you might learn something that's really useful on the inside about ourselves. On Friday we have a Friday the 13th, and a lot of people have created a lot of horror stories about this date, but the origin is actually quite simply astrological, as with many things. So there are actually 13 moons in a year, and Friday is named after Freya, the goddess, which is the only female name in the week, because most cultures have a balance of masculine and feminine with the moon. There are many moon gods as well as goddesses, so Freya, or Venus, Vendredi, is actually the only goddess, female energy, day of the week. So when we have 13 moons, which is seen as the feminine side of ourselves in general, and Freya's day, then obviously we're looking at a double lucky day for the feminine, which was then demonized and turned into all sorts of stories as Templar massacres and Friday the 13th movies, but it is none of that. It's just a time to really get back in sync with the moons of the year, the days of the week, the feminine energy, and that kind of potent aspect, the mysterious, potent side of ourselves. So see if you can not engage with this luck and superstition, which is absolute nonsense. See if you can get back to the origins of that one and feel into that regardless of what other people are doing. Finally, as we head to next week, you'll see Uranus turn direct. So before an outer planet turns direct, it tends to slow down and is called stationary, and this means there can be almost no activity around it. So with Uranus, what we're looking at is the genius mind, the way forward, the vision. So it might be worth just holding a space for that, not trying to make your mind up, not having opinions, not forcing a way forwards, but actually leaving some space for some better alternatives to come through as that planet starts to turn direct. So stationary is always a good opportunity just to hold the space. There may well be a lot of opinions out there. I know Facebook is a prime example of people shouting their opinions, but it might just be a good opportunity as we go into next week, through this weekend, to actually not have an opinion, to just walk around a subject 360 degrees and observe it from all angles, but without being forced to actually come up with the results just yet, because something much bigger and better and very, very different could be heading this way. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week.